interesting client I'd like to tell you about is actually a lodge in the Madikwe. So the Jamala Madikwe Lodge actually burnt down about a year and a half ago, and all of the main section of the lodge burnt down except for the accommodation. So it was a very traditionally styled bushveld type lodge with thatch roofs, etc., and very natural elements on the floors, etc. And they came to us with the challenge of how do we integrate a new lodge utilizing almost the exact same footprint as we had in the future, because they've got ecological restrictions with regards to environmental impact studies, etc., because it's within the bushveld, and this is obviously very far up north, so it's close to the Botswana border, so the temperature ranges there are quite a bit different to what it is that we've got in this area here. So there also we utilized the roofs and the concrete slabs, but I'll tell you about that in a little bit. Trying to reconstitute the lodge, they said, look, we would like something which is an appealing architecture, but we do not want to go away from the bushveld feel and lodge. So what we actually did is we integrated something which is quite a modern style, actually with a very rustic and bushveld feel, where we introduced timber a lot, very natural colors. We had a lot of stone walls that we introduced within the structure, so it gives you this very chunky style architecture with these very light concrete roofs that we've suspended over the structure as well. In planning a lodge, the planning is significantly different from actually planning a home, and what one tries to create is you're trying to create facilities that people can use together, but they still need to feel private within that environment, and also you're trying to extend it out so that you get as many views as you can from the outside. So effectively the front of the lodge is completely open as it faces directly onto a waterhole, with a lot of cantilever slab. We challenge the engineers with a lot of things that we have done on the front there. We can share those pictures and videos with you so that you have an understanding, especially if you're within the construction industry, you'll understand some of the cantilevers that we did there. And then also how we utilize the architecture and how we integrated these cantilevers using techniques in order to hide columns, etc. So there's quite a bit that we did on this lodge from a structural point of view, which is quite different from planning a home, because in planning a home, if there's a column, it's not that it's in front of a waterhole, but in this particular event, we had to have very large spans, because the people, when everybody's together, everybody needs to have a view. So in planning, it created some challenges for us on the engineering side, which were quite exciting, and what we had done and how to resolve that worked out very well. As they operate as a business venture, and the lodge had burnt down, we had a very, very short period in order to rebuild the lodge, as every day effectively means that there were bookings that they had to cancel and money which is effectively lost. So in this particular lodge, we rebuilt the lodge in 4.5 months. We built over 800 square meters in size in 4.5 months, which is an absolute record, and the contractors there really pulled their weight in order to make this dream come off. Trying to introduce the bushveld feel within a very modern style architecture is obviously a challenge, and one needs to have a look and see how you actually pull it through as a thread so that you don't overdo it as modern architecture. So I feel like we've done it really well in this particular one, and we are busy with the second lodge at the moment, where we have done the interiors of this particular lodge also in a very rustic but modern way, actually pulling through similar elements where you've got that modern feel, but you're still within the bushveld environment. If you enjoy the lodges and viewing what we've done with the various lodges, give us a like and we can share more content with you. We spoke about the planning of homes as opposed to the planning of this particular lodge. And with the staircases within a home, you do not necessarily, you want to use it almost as a sculptural feature without necessarily inviting somebody to walk up that stair, because it generally leads to a more private space. So generally the staircase doesn't lead from the entrance directly up. However, what we've done within this lodge is we've positioned the staircase within the double volume of the entrance hall, and we've positioned it once again as a very sculptural piece within this. But as you approach the staircase, because the top area is open and visible, it leads you up the staircase to a lookout point which we've got at the top, and we've also got a beautiful library and sitting area that we've also done at the top there. So this area, it looks directly out onto a waterhole. So this is what they refer to at Jamala as the sofa safari area. This is unlike the home design that we spoke about in last week, because of the way that we are using the stair. Sculptural, yes, but the access, we have done it so that when you walk from the dining area and also towards the lookout area, that staircase actually is right there where you are, and it literally leads you up to that top area. And a very sculptural staircase. We've done a spine on the one side with cantilever stairs and all out of glass. So it's a very see-through staircase, because the owners did not want that staircase to be in that lobby where it actually obstructs your view to the watering hole, because that axial entrance is actually directly onto the water hole. So as you enter the lodge, it pulls your view directly through towards the watering hole, and we didn't want that staircase to actually interrupt your view. So it's very delicate with cantilever concrete stairs going up to the top. Due to the challenges that we face with heat within that environment, because it's a much hotter climate than what we have here, the variation in climate there between winter and summer, the shear in temperature is slightly more than what we deal with here. So what we did there is we cantilevered the concrete slabs about 1 meter across all of the walls that we've done on the entire development, so that it shades the walls during the summer, so that we reduce the amount of heat that actually comes into the building through the walls, and the cantilever over the windows during the winter stops as much heat loss during the winter. So it forms a dual function, and that horizontality that we've introduced is very much like the landscape, because the landscape, we've got rolling hills and some mountains, but it really gives that flat integrated look within the context of that environment. Thank you very much for watching up to this point. So if you've enjoyed the video, give us a like, subscribe, and we look forward to sharing some more content with you, and we'll see you on the next one.